I'm Andrew. I'm an alcoholic. I'm from New York City. 26 years old. Um, and been in South Florida for a while now. I came down here in 2015 to 2018, and I moved back to New York, and that's when my journey at Evolution started. I think my struggles coming into recovery the second time was admitting defeat. It was harder the second time around because I like my pride and my ego really had taken over. During this last run. And yeah, like I said, it was really hard to admit defeat. But once I had admitted defeat, there was a weight lifted off my shoulders that it felt really good. And I knew things that I know off rip that things would be a lot different this time. Coming around. So. I was in detox for 16 days. I was in PHP for 26 days, and then I was in IOP for about 72 or 73 days. So yeah, fairly long time, but something I definitely needed. Coming out of that last relapse.
What did you get out of each location?
Well, Evolution's detox helped me a lot. It helped me to get back in the swing of things with the H&Is and the people that I surrounded, that I was around, like Jen and Nikki and Rose, people that are in the program, and that don't necessarily force it down your throat. They just they show you through their actions like what it's like having a good life in sobriety, and having a good life in sobriety doesn't necessarily mean like having all the materialistic things. It's about like being internally and spiritually like fit, and like I said, detox helped me out a lot because it allowed me to get back in the swing of things, and it surrounded me around these people that I hadn't been around in so long, because for that whole year that I was using, I was neglecting AA, I was neglecting the fellowship, and then obviously I went on to PHP. When I went on to PHP, PHP helped me, it allowed me to now like take that next step. Like I had my phone, I had there was obviously like a lot of, temptation out there. There was, I could have taken advantage of having my phone and having all these things accessible to me, but, I didn't, obviously, and was able to get a sponsor, was able to start working steps. PHP helped me get back into the swing of like not only being around people in the fellowship and around people with AA and around but getting back in the swing of a normal life without drugs and alcohol. IOP further helped me with that. It helped me. When I got into IOP, I had my car, I was able to go around, I was able to find a job, I was able to do these things again, and really, really, like I said, like finally now, like I had gotten back into the swing of life, it wasn't like, working on getting back into the swing of it. Now I was back in the swing of it, doing things that normal people do, which is, work and, go out with your friends and go to meetings and stuff like that, and I love, the thing I loved about the three, the thing I loved about, the three locations was that I didn't spend too much time there, but I didn't spend too little time there. I spent just enough time there to give me that boost to get to the next level and really take things like Evolutions allow me they work me back into normal life in a very slow but steady manner. I wasn't like thrown out there into the fire. Like, it took time, and, as frustrating as it might have been, it was, it was definitely worth it. And I couldn't, with that, that's where I'm, that's why I'm where I'm at today, because of, like I said, the time that it took me to get from one level to the next. I loved Evolutions. I love the people at Evolutions, and Evolutions was the thing I loved about Evolutions is because, not to get into the logistics of it, but in South Florida, there's a lot of treatment centers, so there's a lot of places that people can go. There's, you don't have to necessarily be at one place, But Evolutions, like, they actually, like, really, like, reached their hand out to me and, like, cared about me. Like, it wasn't about, like, the money. It wasn't about, like, anything, like I said, material. It was about, like, genuinely, like, wanting to help me and genuinely wanting to help me, like, become successful and get back into the swing of life. Because, like I said, I've had time sober, but Evolutions, like I said, they gave it to me, they gave it to me raw too. It wasn't like, my therapist, Michelle, and, the people that I was with, all throughout my time here, they gave it to me raw. It wasn't sugar coated. It was like, look, like, this needs to happen, or like this needs to happen, or this is going to happen. If you don't do this, then this is what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's really why Evolutions is different, and what Evolutions, what helped me in Evolutions was the fact that, like, these people are, like, willing to, like, reach out, and they really care about you, and they want to know how you're doing. Even when you leave the program, like when I left the program, I was still getting calls, still getting messages. Hey, how you doing? Is everything good? It wasn't like, all right, well, he's not a client no more, whatever, and that, that hits home for me, because, like I said, it just goes to show these people really, really care, and these people are really, really, really want to make a difference in people's lives,
Would you like to share some of your story and let us know what made you want to get help?
Yeah, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I was in Florida, like I said, from 2015 to 2018. I managed to get 3.5 years sober, but maybe a year and a half of that 3.5 years, I really wasn't working a solid program. I was dry, I was doing shady things. I kind of strayed away from the fellowship, and I didn't, I figured, like, everything was so good on paper that, like, everything was fine, because everything was good on paper, because I had this, because I had that, because I had this going for me, because I had that going for me, because I had that job, because I had that friend, because I had that girl. I thought that these things were going to keep me sober. But then, going back to New York, obviously I wasn't prepared, and I found out the hard way. I ended up going back out on a drug that, wasn't something that I had ever done before. And now this drug, I don't get into war stories, but this drug, it brought me to my knees so quick. And now it's something that not only that I mentally needed, but that I physically needed. So if I didn't take it, I was sick. I couldn't shower. I couldn't do these things that normal people do on a daily basis. And it was, it was rough. It was rough. And like I had stated, prior, admitting defeat was the hardest thing for me, because my ego had like my use, when I use, my ego comes out, and my ego will kill me. And, I'm aware of that today. And, my ego was telling me that I could do this on my own, that I could, do weed maintenance, or do sub maintenance, or do this maintenance, or just go to meetings and not work steps, or do this down the third. But it didn't work, and finally, like I said, I made the call, and I came down here, and at first I threw a little pity party, like I was like, I had this much time, but, like, I've come to realize that, like, time is really irrelevant. Time is irrelevant, because I might not have the time anymore. I might not be coming up on 5 years sober, but that doesn't matter to me anymore. Like, what matters is that, like, I still have the knowledge, and, like, as long as I do what I wasn't doing now, or doing now what I wasn't doing back then I know I have every shot to stay sober. And that's, continuing to help people and sponsoring guys, and doing the next right thing, and doing the next right thing when nobody's looking, not holding the door open for the old lady when she's walking by, when there's 50 people looking at me, that doesn't matter. What matters is, doing those things, in sincerity, and, out of the kindness of my heart, out of the genuinity of, like, yeah, I want to be a good person, and these are the things that I need to do in order to be a good person, Today, I'm grateful for sobriety. I'm able to be, a reliable employee. I'm a reliable friend. I'm a great boyfriend. I'm a fantastic son, you know, like I'm able to be these things because of the work that I've put in. And you know, going back, like I said, I'm grateful for this last relapse that I had, you know, in October of 2018, because if it wasn't for that last relapse, reality wouldn't have set in. And who knows, you know, how bad things could have gotten, you know, if I wasn't, you know, in jail or dead. You know, thank God, you know, I was able to, you know, get that second chance at life. And since then, you know, I've been hitting the ground running. I got a great career. Like I said, I have all these things, but like I have to be mindful that these things aren't going to keep me sober. You know, the last time I thought they would, now I know they won't. You know, and in order for me to, like I said, keep these good things that I have too, I have to continue to put in the work. I can't just stop when I feel it's best to stop. You know, this is a daily reprieve, like they say in the big book. You know, it's a daily reprieve, something I have to work on a daily basis. So, you know, other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, I want to say, you know, if you're struggling and you need help, you know, definitely give Evolutions a call. Definitely reach out to somebody, because these people care. These people want to help. You know, you might not agree with everything that's gonna, you know, that happens. You know, you might be, you know, you might be kind of resistant at first, but you know, at the end of the day, the things that these people are doing for you are the best thing for you at the moment. And you have to realize as well that right now, you know, in the early stages of recovery, you know, being in treatment, you can't live life on life's terms yet. You have to have somebody, you know, watching your every move, and you know, telling you when to eat and when to shower and when to go to group. You know what I mean? You need that right now to build that foundation to be able to stay sober and maintain permanent sobriety. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you.